place is incredible. Investigator Vale never went to Oblivion in any of her stories, so I wasn't sure what to expect. I was nervous when Lyrinth said I had to use a portal to get here, but this is great. And you're here now, so it's even better. A lot of crazy talk about conquest, Mehrunes Dagon, and staining the world with the blood of their enemies, but nothing more about the ambitions. Ugh, it's so frustrating. I definitively could tell that Emperor Leovic had certain records destroyed. Yeah, sorry. I know Lyrinth was counting on me to come up with some clue to follow. I thought I had a lead about one of their holdings, but I hit a dead end. It seems like the Longhouse Emperors took all the information with them to their graves. Mostly helping out around Leowyn, and I did a couple of small tasks for Governor Keshu, rounding up a few stray cultists, that sort of thing. Otherwise, it's been pretty quiet. Until Lyrinth contacted me, that is. She sent one of her creepy followers to bring me messages. That Rogatina woman. Letters mostly, but Lyrinth did stop by to give me final instructions on how to get to Fargrave. I got to use a portal key. That was exciting. She gave me the highlights. Weird Cataclysm devices, Sister Seldina, that evil Knockfrost guy. I'm sorry I wasn't there to help. I can't wait to meet the Anchorite, though. I always thought about getting a mask, like the Green Hood or the Scarlet Judge.
The Longhouse documents were no help, and I still haven't heard any word from my contacts. Our next chance can be found at the House of Whims.
The House of Whims? That sounds intriguing.
Meet me at the House of Whims. It's time to explore the Anchorite's memories. Anchorite, Mehrunes Dagon was particularly interested in you at Ardent Hope. We must examine your memories.
So you're the Anchorite, huh? Neat mask.
Thanks. I like your bow, too.
Let us begin. Mortal, use the memory vessel to capture fragments of the Anchorite's recollections as the ritual progresses.
I know I agreed to take part in this ritual, but now I'm not so sure. Since my memories all came flooding back to me, I haven't been able to make sense of a fraction of them. I'm not sure what Madam Whim will find, or if it will actually help. No, not at all. I just doubt we're going to turn up anything useful. I got 20 years of memories restored in a few seconds. It may take more than a single ritual to sift through them all. Besides, there may not be any that can actually help us. Maybe. So far, though, I've had no luck making sense of all the memories. They still feel like they belong to somebody else, you know? Hey, have you noticed that Lyrinth is more serious than usual? A little more scary? Probably nothing, right? Yeah. Strange doesn't even begin to cover how I felt when he addressed me directly at Ardent Hope. Well, go ahead and grab the memory vessel and let's get this started. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some answers after all.
Use the vessel to collect the memory fragments when they appear. I will use the Anchorite's amulet as a focus.
Is this supposed to hurt?
There, a memory fragment. Take it.
She is my blood. The legacy of the Longhouse Emperors flows through her veins.
Keep going. We are close.
Another memory fragment. Take it before it disperses.
You are a tool, nothing more. Fulfill your purpose, or you will be discarded.
No! Please, make it stop!
You're hurting her! Stop! Stop this now!
Foolish mortals! You try my patience!
The anchorite's memories are too scattered, unfocused. She has not yet come to grips with the fact that these newly restored memories belong to her. Let me see the memory vessel. Perhaps we were able to gather something useful after all. Ah, this is a very early memory. The anchorite as a babe, hearing her father's voice. I can use this, yes. Another early memory, but this time her father's voice is cold, commanding. These fragments vibrate with emotional veracity, a signature of sorts. I can use that to scry the location of the Longhouse Emperor, or, more accurately, his soul. If you find the Emperor, you can talk to him. Get the information you need, directly from Moraka himself. I sense he is imprisoned in the Deadlands, in the Brandfire Reformatory. Take the Anchorite's amulet. It will lead you to the Emperor's soul. As I understand it, the amulet was a gift from father to daughter. Its connection to Moraka is strong. Use it in the Reformatory and it will lead you to him. However, what state his soul will be in after decades of torture, I do not know.
It's my amulet and my memories, so I'm going with you.
Very well. Take the anchorite and explore this memory. See where it leads. Meanwhile, I will begin the hunt for Sombren and Kalia.
You shouldn't go alone, Lyrinth. I'll join you.
How distrustful, Emily. Fine. Mortal, we will find you when we have word.
Madam Wim said the amulet would guide us to Emperor Moraka's soul. Go ahead and use it. Quest! Let's follow it. I wonder how many souls are trapped in this place. This is what the Longhouse Emperors expected when they made their bargain with Mehrunes Dagon. A hidden door. I think we need to go in there. That looks like some sort of forge. I wonder if it still works. Did you hear that? It sounded like it came from the furnace. The furnace door. I'm not sure what we're going to find in here, but...
Open the door. Your Emperor commands it.
The same voice from my memory. Emperor Morikar. There's a discharge labrum there. We need to find and charge some lucents. I think we can open the furnace door by using lucents. I want to see what's inside. See if that voice really belongs to Emperor Morikar. It certainly sounded like the voice from my memory. Let's find some lucents and figure out how this works. You need to find some lucents, preferably charged ones. Otherwise, you need a dynamis font to charge them. Then place a charged lucent in the correct discharge labrum to release the energy and make something happen. In this case, I think it will ignite the furnace and open the door. That's my best guess, anyway. The door opened! All I see is a chunk of slag. Before you try anything, there's no doubt about it. The voice came out of that chunk of slag. And it sounds just like Emperor Morikar's voice from my memory. He wants us to free him. Do you think we should? You've seen this place. It's all about torture. I think they fused the souls of the Emperors into that chunk of metal. Seems like a fitting punishment for anyone who incurred Mehrunes Dagon's wrath. But we need to free them to talk to them. We need to ignite the furnace to melt the slag. I spotted 2 more discharge labrums. If we take that charged lucent and stick it in one, that might get us halfway there. We'll need to find a second lucent, though. There are 2 other discharge labrums. If we can find another lucent, we might be able to ignite the furnace. I think we need to ignite the furnace to melt down that slag. Hopefully, that will release whoever is trapped inside, whether it's really Emperor Morikar or not. The furnace has 2 other discharge labrums connected to it. If we move the charged lucent you found to one... Look, up there! A lucent! Place the charged lucent in that discharge labrum by the wall. Over here, there's a dynamis font. Let's charge that lucent. That worked! The lucent is charged. Now place it in one of the discharge labrums.
Who must we thank for our freedom? An eternity of agony. This was not what the Prince of Destruction promised. I did everything the Black Drake commanded. Everything the High Priest instructed. And I gave precise orders to my son. So why the torture? And why is the weapon here? Daughter? You mean the weapon? Why have you brought her here? You cannot let her fall into the hands of Mehrunes Dagon. He reneged on his promise to us. I see no reason to keep our part of the bargain now. You did not know? The girl is one of the 4 ambitions of Mehrunes Dagon. But she's not like the other 3. Oh, no. I made a few modifications of my own to the High Priest's ritual. She is not just an ambition. She is my contingency. An emperor never relies on a single strategy. We were promised power if we delivered the ambitions at the appointed time, but Daedric princes are not to be trusted. So I prepared Mairead as a weapon that could deal with Dagon, should the need arise. My daughter, the 4th ambition, she's the key. Along with the other ambitions, she can call forth the power to banish Mehrunes Dagon. That was my contingency, in case the Prince of Destruction lied, and we needed to send him back to the Deadlands. The Anchorite? Is that what you call Mairead? Ah, use her. Her and the ambitions. Bring my vengeance to the Prince who betrayed us. Go to the Isle of Joys, a retreat not far from here. All the details are there. Ah, someone comes. My ambitions.
I'm an ambition? One of those people Lyranth was talking about? How is that possible?
We are not property or playthings, Morcar.
Sombrin, no!
You are what we created you to be.
You wanted a weapon that chased my power.
Oh, Sombrin, why?
Hey, friend. We better talk.
I didn't think Sombrin was going to do something so dramatic. You have to forgive him. He's been very intense lately. I'm not sure how else to describe it. When we first arrived in the Deadlands, he insisted he could help me control my powers, that I could practice without fear of hurting anyone. But lately he's been different. Almost desperate. He spends most of his time reading that strange book, searching desperately for answers. He's obsessed with our power, trying so hard to understand it. But the more frustrated he gets, the more he pulls away. And now, this. I'm worried about him. You must remember, the book Evely gave him, Lyranth called it the Mysterium Xarxis. He's become obsessed with it. He's sure the answer to controlling our powers hides somewhere among its pages, and he pores over them at every opportunity. Not in the same way. I don't think he's having dreams or anything. Sombrin's always been passionate, but since Destron died, his rage has been growing, and the frustration and desperation makes that rage harder, sharper. And what he just did... I've tried. But he wants to protect me. He doesn't want to burden me with the weight he's carrying. I think he needs to work this out for himself. I just hope he can do that soon, before he lets that rage and frustration destroy him.
I almost decided not to accompany Lyranth, but now I'm glad she insisted. How else would I have gotten the opportunity to punish the Longhouse Emperors for what they did to us? Finding the last ambition? That's just a welcome surprise. I have no interest in more of their lies, and neither should you. I gave the Longhouse Emperors exactly what they wanted. My power. Besides, they'll reform in this place eventually. I just couldn't allow them to corrupt the last ambition. Those men were evil when they were alive. Do you think an existence of torture in the Deadlands would change that? The last ambition needs to learn from Kalia and me. I sense that same power inside her that courses through us. We belong together. A fantasy. We can't hope to stand against the Prince of Destruction. Look, I've learned a lot since last we spoke. Too much to explain and too little that you would understand. It's time for the ambitions to take our destiny in our own hands.
That man, Sombrin, he seems familiar. But why did he destroy the Emperors? There was so much more I wanted to ask, especially of Morikar. I can't quite bring myself to call him father. But what Morikar said, is it true? Am I an ambition? Maybe. But familiar or not, they're still strangers. We came here for answers. And while I learned something, it feels like all I got was more questions. Right. Morikar said the answers were waiting at the Isle of Joys. I have no idea where that might be. Look, your friend Everly wants to talk to you, and I need a moment to think this through. But don't worry, I'm with you to the end. I promise.
I am not all right with what just happened. Lyrinth and I managed to find Sombrin and Kalia. We convinced them to come with us. But I had no idea he was going to explode those poor ghosts. Did I hear correctly? The Anchorite is the last ambition? That's just... Did you have any idea? Well, I guess that makes it easy enough. Now we know where all the ambitions are. Did you learn anything else before Sombrin blasted them into non-existence? Wait a moment! I know that name! Remember Lyrinth had me comb through the Longhouse Emperor's documents? That name was listed as one of their hunting retreats. But I couldn't find any other information. Do you know where it is? That's why the map didn't make sense. It wasn't a map of Tamriel. It's the Deadlands. All right, my friend. Let's go see what we can find at the Isle of Joys. Mehrunes Dagon could move against us at any moment. Sure. Let me know when you're ready to go.
So, the Anchorite is the fourth ambition. Interesting. However, my tolerance for mortal emotions has reached its limit. Who knows what I could have learned had I been allowed to question the Emperors. At least we have the surviving ambitions.
Are you ready to go explore the Isle of Joys?
You're one of us, Anchorite, an ambition. Do you know what that means?
I don't know a lot of things, it seems.
I can answer your questions. Come with us, to a place meant only for ambitions. I'll show you.
No. We need to stay together.
I'm sorry, Lyrinth. I need to do this.
Damn it. That was a mistake that may cost us dearly. Mortals. Always so unpredictable. As annoying as that is, perhaps that's what keeps me so interested. You and Everly head to the Isle of Joys. See what you can find there. I will follow the Anchorite. I want to keep an eye on Sombrin. No. And his erratic behavior worries me. Mortal minds were not meant to read the Mysterium Xarxes. I'm wary about him separating the Anchorite from us as well. We're going to need her once you determine the nature of this contingency plan. My reaction is irrelevant. The Anchorite recently had her memories returned to her and has yet to make sense of them all. Now she discovers she's also an ambition of Mehrunes Dagon, and a tool of a father she didn't know. I understand her motivations. Have you not realized after all this time that I have my ways, little mortal? I found Sombrin and Kalia once. I can do so again. In the meantime, you and Evely should search the Isle of Joys. We must discover this plan that Emperor Morikar spoke of.
The island over there. This portal should get us across. Look, Imperial ruins. This must be the Isle of Joys. Daedra. Me and the Ebonheart Emperors had a very different idea of joy. Come on, let's search those ruins. The Ego Nimic? What's that? A map. It looks like the inside of one of those doom vaults we found. Hang on to that. right, this was a productive trip. At least Emperor Morikar's ghost didn't lie about leaving stuff here. Let's review what we found. Yeah, I noticed that straight away. Maybe they were part of a set, and this one was Emperor Morikar's? And look, it has some weird runes etched into the surface. It might be important. Hold on to it. What about that journal? Let me see. The Ego-Nimic is some sort of name? Says it has the power to banish Mehrunes Dagon. That's huge. But whatever we need to access it isn't here. It's in the Anchorite's vault. I still can't believe she's an ambition. What about that map? Didn't we explore all the vaults in Blackwood? Wait a moment. I did read about one other vault. Doom Vault Volpanaz. It was cracked open and ransacked during Varen's revolution, so I assumed any ambition inside it was long gone. Really? You explored another vault without me? You're trying to make me look bad. What did you find? Tell me there was something there that connects to all this. Did you get to search it all? I guess if you'd found the key to a weapon that could banish Mehrunes Dagon in there, you would have told us about it. Well, we can't give up now. This is still worth looking into. Maybe this mark indicates a hidden portion of the vault that you didn't spot last time. We have to at least try. I'll meet you there.